we do a number of different games that we alternate because we don't specifically work on passing, or we don't specifically work on something because at this stage they haven't really developed their skills enough to pass or receive a ball. They kind of just want to hog it to themselves, and even then they're not very good at dribbling. So we're just developing their ABCs, which is the agility, balance and coordination and speed. So one of the games that we introduced early on is called Body Parts. This provides a sort of kinesthetic feeling for the ball, and it just gets them developing their ball mastery skills. What we'd have is we'd have them just dribbling around, and then when someone shouts a body part, they have to sort of get that body part touching the ball. It's also a way of sort of mobilizing the joints as they're moving around and sort of putting their ear on the ball or squatting down to sit on the ball. Just different fun movements for them to enjoy. Another game that we have them dribbling around in is called Traffic Lights. So we'll have them dribbling around, emphasizing on small touches, and then leader will introduce a cone, and the color of the cone will sort of dictate or say what they need to do. This again enforces them keeping their head up, looking at you, or looking up at the other coaches while they're dribbling around, so they're not always looking at their feet. And we'll have them just doing exercises like green is change direction, or yellow is sort of swap balls with someone, or red is stop in captain stance, which is just a fun way of us getting them to put the foot on the ball and just stand tall. Some other games that we do is sort of binocular zoo or squirrels and nuts. The binocular game is we have them running around in a circle, or the roundabout, and then we'll have 4 different corners, and each corner will have a different animal, and we'll be very imaginative and really creative, and we'll get our binoculars out, and coaches will actually get involved with this as well, whether you're leading or you're assisting, and you'll say what animal you can see in the distance, and we'll dribble over to that corner, and then we'll say, ooh, what does this animal do? And different animals, as a kid or older kids already know, and new kids learn, have different skills that they teach us. So the penguins have the skill where they put the ball in between their feet and they just sort of tap it back and forth. The monkeys have toe tap, so they're just tapping on the ball. A gorilla will have a roll over and stop. Just different skills, so it's developing their dribbling skills and their ball mastery. Similar with squirrels and nuts, we're getting them working on their agility, balance and coordination skills. So we'll have all the balls in the center, and we'll have the 4 children in those 4 different corners, and we'll have on one side maybe ladders, or another side we'll have hurdles, and we'll just get them running through the ladders or jumping over the hurdles, picking up a ball, and then just carrying it, not dribbling it, carrying it back into the box. And we'll do a little bit of a competition who can get the most balls. And then once everyone's got their balls, we'll even the balls out again, rotate, and then we'll get them doing the same thing backwards just to put the balls back in the middle. This kind of keeps the flow time, or the rolling time, quite high, so the session's always flowing and it's not stop and stop. And then maybe to finish off the skills development, we'll play another game without the balls, which is what I call Huggy Bears with younger kids, or Wolf Pack with older kids. And you'll get them running around in the grid, and you shout out a number, and basically whatever number that is, they've got to get into those pairs. So if you shout 3, they've got to go and find a group of 3. And then the person left out, you can either just carry on playing, or you get them to do like a funky chicken dance or whatever to keep them quite engaged and enjoying the session. And this is a really great game because it works on the social aspect of getting them all communicating, working to a team, and you'll also be able to observe what sort of friendship groups you have, because as they're running around, you'll have all of the friends sticking with who they know or who they want to be with in that session. And from that, we'll sort of move on to the small-sided games, where we'll sort of just say, okay, now we want 3s, and then we'll say, okay, now here, you 3, you get 1 bib, you 3, you get another bib, and we'll give them the different bibs, and we'll sort of send them to their own corners, and from that, it's just easier to set them out into teams. And then to finish off the session, we normally do a small-sided game. So this is beneficial as it just develops their skills of what they've learned, and it also keeps them enjoying what they're doing, because as young footballers, most of them watch football and they always want, they watch matches, they don't watch skills development, so they always want to play a match, and they're always asking during the session or when they come in, are we going to play matches today, because it's just something that they enjoy. And what we'll do in that is we'll hold a couple of balls and we'll just let them play, and we'll sort of say there's out, but when it goes out, you don't go and get the ball. We'll feed them in another ball, so we're always recycling the balls and keeping the rolling time quite high, so it's not stop and stop. We also have to, because they're quite young, we also remind them what goal that they're scoring in or which direction to go in, and we'll sort of really motivate and be very enthusiastic with this part of the session, because it just builds their confidence and it allows them to actually play a match, which is what the end stage of football really is.